So I do not have it correctly, but we'll see because I'm about to say that the name of our guest is Dasan Guptaka Mahaway.
That's correct.
Yes! Kenya, come through with the pronunciation. So Dasan is somebody that I personally really, really, really look up to. And so I'm really excited to have him on the show today.
Nice.
His bio reads like this. I don't go by titles.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Talk that mess.
I am what I need to be whenever that time comes. So word to that. Okay, but I'm going to say that he is one of 3 of the owners of Natrully Herbs and More. He's the co-owner of Sea Moss Eatery and the co-owner of Natrully Alkaline Water Store. His specialty is cleansing and bringing back harmony to the mind, spirit, body, and soul. Will everybody please welcome our guest, Dasan?
Woo! Come on. Make some noise out there.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I want to know, Kat, from what you were just saying about how long you have known this gentleman, because the night I met Kat, he told me about Natrully. The very first time we met. That was one of our first conversations because I like to make, certain things and blah, blah, blah. And Natrully is right around the corner from my house. And so I want to know, like, when did you guys meet and how did you become familiar with this gentleman and his
So when did you open? Because that we could get real timeline based on
We've
that.
been open, it's been 3 years, May 11th.
May 11th. So I believe it was 3 months after you officially opened that that one of my clients that I was training, I brought up CMOS, right? And one of my clients was like, "Yeah, you got to go to Richmond." And I'm like, "Richmond? What do you mean Richmond?" She was like, "Yeah, it's a herbal store in Richmond, Black owned, and they got CMOS, they got all the herbs you need."
Yes, they do.
And I'm like, "And I don't know about this place already?" She was like, "It's right on McDonald, across the street from Target."
Wow.
And I'm like,
it is too.
as soon as I got done training her that day, I shot straight over to the spot.
Wow.
Right. And and then as soon as I met Dasan and the family up there and everybody, because it's a family owned business, right? The entire family, I'm like, nah, I gotta tell anybody and everybody about this.
And you sure did.
Yeah.
Because I think I was there the very next day after I met you, getting my elderberries, to make my elderberry syrup, getting my dried elderberry.
Yeah. Let's hear from Dasan. Talk to us. But first off, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. Every day is great.
Every day is
Come
great.
on.
I heard that.
Oh man, it must be the CMOS.
Just
all the things.
Staying healthy, keeping your system clean,
Absolutely.
eating a lot of fruit and vegetables.
Man, that's a blessing. And I see some of them places on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So what is Natrully? Am I saying that? So it's not naturally, it's Natrully.
Truly natural.
Truly natural. Come on.
It's like pig Latin. For sure. But tell us about it. So it's family owned, it's Black owned. Y'all are a health and wellness store. But what else is natural wellness? What is it about?
Well, we're here to bring togetherness through health. That's your wealth, is your health. And for me, I'll speak for all of us. Our mission is for each person to learn themselves and learn how to heal themselves.
Why is that so important though? Because we're not just going to glance over that.
It's very important because a lot of us leave this earth without understanding who we really are. Like, we got kidneys, we got liver, we got gallbladder. The liver and the gallbladder work in conjunction with each other, and then they also work with your pancreas to help you digest food. It's like we need to know all these things about our body, every single part of us.
It sounds like you're talking about the solar system, like the sun, the moon, and everything. How it just
everything is connected. Everything is connected.
So let me ask you, Dasan. So we all know that there's a need, particularly in our community and communities of color, to be more aware of those systems, and not necessarily just trust your physician or I'm not saying don't trust your physician, don't have no doctors coming after me. But I'm saying is that it should be a team effort of us taking care of ourselves and being responsible for our own bodies and being aware of how we're feeling, and not just brushing things under the rug. And I think that very often in our community, that's what we've done. Instead of do you have any thoughts on why we have a tendency to just be like, oh, I'm going to put that later, or I only see the doctor once a year, so I'll wait until 8 months from now to look at this and address it?
Well, I think it's because we look at food the wrong way. We look at why we get hungry the wrong way. We look at
But is it more so we've been programmed?
Well, we've definitely been programmed for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Programmed to
we're
look at stuff
we're
like
not taught any of these things. Like you might go through biology or you might take an anatomy class, but you're not gonna
different people.
You even learn like the immune system, but nobody really breaks down the different components of your body and how they work in conjunction with each other.
Right.
And then the food and how that's associated with that, because it's like when you eat the food, it's not just I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat this. What is it? What is the chemical constituents of that particular food that you're eating, and how does that react with the human body? That's what really matters, even above whether it's alkaline or vegan or whatever it's classified as. What makes up this particular fruit, vegetable, whatever that you're eating, and then how does that react with the human body? And that tells you whether it's good for you or not there. Because the whole time, when you get hungry, your body's looking for minerals. Your body's made of roughly around 102 minerals, probably more than that.
Wow.
And within that, every single part of your body feeds off certain particular minerals. You need iodine for your thyroid. You need potassium for your kidneys. You need chromium for your pancreas. And when you got this big plate of food, does it contain any of those minerals on there? And is your body getting fed?
Wow.
So 30 years later, and you got diabetes or pancreatitis or liver issues, it's not by chance. Nothing is by accident. I mean, everything happens because of the chain reaction of events that, I ate this, it didn't digest.
Right.
I ate another piece of meat, it didn't digest. Each one takes 3.5 days to process.
Wow.
And then you combine that with starch, which is a glue.
Wow.
So
Right.
now that's going to take even longer. So now we got a severe traffic jam in the intestines.
Are you saying that it takes,
Oh,
let's
my
just say
goodness.
this a little
That
bit
sounds
louder for
terrible.
the people in the back. Are you saying that it takes 3 days for a piece of meat to digest in your body?
What kind of meat?
Any meat. I mean,
Any meat?
Yeah. Okay. Think about this. First of all, if you're gonna eat something and you're saying this is for your body,
Right.
how your body works. Okay. Look at your intestines and compare that to an actual carnivore's intestines. A human's intestines is a lot longer, and it's gonna sit in your system way longer. You don't have enough acid in your system to break down the meat, nor do you have enough canine teeth. And you can't digest far. You're not
we
gonna
have
eat it
zero
raw.
canine teeth.
Yeah. I mean, you got these.
It's something that
Just to kind of
peel something.
break through the skin of it.
It's meant to peel an orange.
How do you know all this stuff?
Just studying, and studying, reading many books.
Who would you say is some of your mentors and again that you kind of like looked up to?
Definitely Layla Africa. Layla Africa.
Yeah.
Of course, Dr. Sebi, Brother Yaquis on fire. He's amazing. I learned a lot from him too.
Have you read How to Eat to Live?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I think one of the things is that we have a lot of resources at our disposal. One of my favorites is the China study, just talking about the benefits of a plant-based diet. And of course, everybody in this room is a plant-based eater. And so we talk about this quite a bit, but we have the education, we have the resources, but a lot of people in our community are not ready for that conversation, and they're not ready to look at and that's a historical thing. It goes back several generations, but we're not ready to put down the food that we consider to be our heritage, part of our heritage. And so what do you say to that as far as like how because we do that a lot. We talk about this a lot on the show, and how to address our community and let them know that there's a different way.
Well, I see what you're saying, but I have a different perspective on that. From my store and from the walks of people that come through the door. I'll say when we first opened, I did not know what that was going to look like, but I'll say that I was surprised and very happy to see that a lot of people from my community that I wouldn't expect to be interested are interested.
Nice.
Not just because it's in Richmond or that it's from us, and you know, my wife and I are from Richmond, so that definitely makes it easier. But aside from that, a lot of them that we think don't know do know a little bit more about being healthy. It's just they don't make the right associations when it comes to the food and stuff. Like, it's like even when you look up what's alkaline or what's healthy or what's right for your human body, you might see spinach, you might see broccoli.
Tomatoes.
So, you know, even when you think you're doing right, and then it's like, oh, I still got gas problems. My stomach's still hurting. I still got digestive issues. And, you know, we don't really understand what we're consuming and why we're consuming it.
And it's complex. Like, then, even in school, we learn about like the food pyramid, right? And on that food
pyramid,
they
still teaching that? Are they still teaching the food
Kat,
pyramid?
you got young kids, or they still learn? I mean, Kat like super vegans. Right? I mean, they got a balance at least, right?
I haven't really talked to them about if they studied the food pyramid, because what they teach them in school is what they teach them in school, right? You know, I make sure to live by example and show my kids why I do what I do, because the best thing you can do for anybody around you is lead by example.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look at me and then look at your other parents, your friends' parents, and we're the same age, but they look 10 years older. Why is that?
What he just said, though, is what's the biggest part of it is leading by example. And I think that's the biggest part of this whole situation when it comes to Natrully Herbs with our community. We lead by example, and we don't accept anything less than that.
That's beautiful.
I like what you said about the 30 years. 30 years later, you look up and you've got digestive issues and stuff like that. So how do we like start to kind of turn that over in the people that are still challenged, you know, by those issues that it's hard to address? And, you know, you do also have a lot of media out there. I even saw this on Oprah some years ago about, you know, fruits and vegetables are really expensive and it's easier to buy, you know, 5 burgers, the dollar menu.
I remember that.
Well, the thing is like I said before, is knowing what you're consuming and what you're going to get from it. Like, if you eat a handful of dates, you can get your daily supplemental amount of potassium, iron,
from
magnesium, just eating a handful of dates.
I love dates.
You know what I mean?
And
fiber. It's the thing is your body doesn't care about a big giant plate of food. It's what is on that plate, and is the body going to be satisfied if you eat? If you got your sea moss, you got you some berries, some watermelon, you're gonna be good.
And
your body's it's not about being full or stuffed. It's about giving the body the right gas, like your car. You know, when you put in the right stuff in there, it's gonna run optimally. And
we are programmed differently. We're programmed to have big giant plates of food.
And then we're electrical beings. You know what I mean? So we have electricity runs through our bodies. The reason why we use the word alkaline, it's like an alkaline battery, right? So anything that you're charging that has a battery, you're charging the cells of that battery. So we have cells. So we have to make those associations. Alkaline, cells, battery, charge it. How do we charge it? We charge it with minerals. The minerals the body converts into energy. So we have to eat those highly electrical plants that got the energy directly from the highest source of energy on this planet, which is the sun. And it goes directly to those solar panels. Look at our hands. Look at those lines. Look at the leaves lines. These are our solar panels. We don't pray like this. We pray with our hands open and receive the energy from the sun. We can ground ourselves just like the plants as well. I mean,
Wow.
It's,
It's
It
a
gets
whole,
deep.
it's a
It gets
whole
deep.
vibe.
Everything
Going
is,
in.
you know, is recyclable. Even if we look at it from a whole entire Earth standpoint, if everything came from the Earth, right, then everything should be able to go back into the Earth as well.
Wow.
Look at the cows; they eat grass, drink water.
Wow.
So their
They're
manure,
supposed to.
their manure,
Yeah,
and
right.
and their manure would be
Yeah.
fertilizer, right?
Grass and
So
water.
if we ate from the ground that which we came from, then our manure would be fertilizer as well. It's no need for no waste nowhere. Everything that came from the earth should be able to go back in it. Period.
Oh,
Unless
man.
man tampers with it and changes the molecular structure into something else.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of things that come from the earth, what's your take on marijuana, like from a health perspective?
Well, I think in its original state that it's fine. I mean, there's a lot
Original,
of
like from the ground in the flower.
Yeah.
So you're not talking about the granddaddy purple, is you? You're not talking about
You're not
granddaddy
talking about
purple
the OG
ain't
My
healthy
God,
for
it's-
me?
I say that the worst way to consume it is to smoke it, because you're heating it up and you're burning your lung tissue, and it does. I mean, you don't have a barometer of the temperature.
Yeah.
So like with a vaporizer where you're able to control the temperature, you can pull out certain components of that plant depending on the heat levels, because everything is the molecule is gonna separate at a certain heat point, no matter what it is, even if it's metal. So, I mean, if we use it in that way or know exactly what strains we're using and why we're using it, like if it's for headache or for sleeping,
Right.
then at the same time, you gotta always go back to the root and why you're that's happening as well too.
Yeah, because it's a medicine at the end of the day. Do you really need this medicine? You taking medicine that you don't need?
Yeah, that's real.
But let's talk 20, 30 years ago, right?
Wow.
Like you grew up in Richmond, California. I grew up in the same area. I don't know too many vegan, plant-based brothers growing up during that era. Like, how did you get to that point where you was like, man, this is the direction that I'm my energy is going in this direction?
Yeah, I was definitely eating chicken.
Yeah.
I was the barbecue.
Come
chicken
on.
dude.
That's how we grew up.
You was
Potato
eating the
pie,
pork?
all that.
You
Everybody
ate
telling
the
me.
pork ribs?
I really wasn't that heavy on the ribs.
Okay.
I did.
It's funny how we always,
but,
in our community, we know the pork is not. For some reason, we know the pork ain't good.
I
We're
was more.
supposed to.
It just in my house though. My mom didn't really cook that too much. Like chicken, chicken
That's
for
a
sure.
blessing. Yeah.
Turkey, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
macaroni and cheese. But for me, it happened. Really, it was my wife. We had our last daughter at home, Shaya, and the midwife brought some herbs over to help my wife heal faster, and that's what sparked her interest. And she went and took some classes at Aloni.
Wow.
And the teacher allowed the family to come on a herb walk one Saturday, and we walked around the lake in Oakland, and there's another location in Berkeley. There's a little garden, and she was in Oakland though at the lake. That's where it struck me. She pointed out about like 40 different herbs and like a really
At the
short
lake?
distance. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
all
there's
over Oakland.
feverfew, all types of different
over Oakland.
herbs that were good for like headaches and stuff that I was going through, because I suffered from headaches since a child.
Wow.
I used to drink heavy and damage my liver and kidneys, and
Wow.
like for real.
Yeah.
And just learning that I could take some aside from Excedrin or something like that for my headaches, it made me think a little bit. So I went to the herb shop, bought some feverfew. It took my headache away, but it was still just like a replacement for some medication, Tylenol or something at that point. Then just studying more, when I learned about CMOS stuff, and I took that for about 7 days straight, and then realized that I hadn't had a headache. I had headaches every single day.
Wow.
I was severely mineral deprived. So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I got to change all this. Like it's more than just it's deeper than what I thought here.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. And how long ago was that?
6 years.
6 years. Wow. So
6 years. I was gonna say 6 years for me too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been 6 years for me too in April.
Me too.
But what's so interesting? Was it like an overnight change, or was it a progressive change? How long did it take you to get to say that I'm fully plant-based? I'm not messing with the chicken, the turkey, the fish, because I think a lot of people in our community that are interested in making those transitions feel like it's an all or nothing kind of thing.
Mhm.
And even through my journey, when I was going through my health issues, I was moving in that direction, not knowing that I was moving in that direction. So when I tell people, like, it was a 30 days for me to fully transition, but it was almost like a year prior to that, me actually moving into more so a plant-based diet or plant-based nutrition. So what did that look like for you?
Well, for me, like I said, my wife had went plant-based first, and then she actually went back to me. And then I got introduced to What the Health.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
The documentary.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I watched that, it was over that night.
Man, it
And I
was
went
done.
home and told my wife. She's like, "No, I already went there. I'm not turning back again. I'm staying on my meat. No, I can't. I have to keep my
That's
weight on."
Hey,
then-
my wife sounded the same way. It took her 5 months after I started, 5 or 6 months after I started, for her to have her own health issues with her thyroid, with IBS, to the point where she wasn't getting sleep. Shay was dealing with this stuff, like waking up in the middle of the night,
Wow.
couldn't go back to sleep sometimes, like where we had to go to the doctor. And after going to the doctor and the doctor talking about she has a hyperactive thyroid,
Wow.
she might need operation, and then she'll be on medication. I'm
Oh,
like,
my
man,
goodness.
I was like, this sounds extreme.
Like a nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, this is extreme. I said, babe, I've heard so many amazing things with, balancing out your thyroid with changing your nutrition. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Start
Before-
there first.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's start with changing the nutrition first
It's a big difference.
and seeing where that takes you. And I said, worst case scenario, if nothing changes, then let's go talk to the doctor. Right. So she changed. She changed for 30 days, and then she started seeing her IBS go away. Her thyroid started to balance out, and all these things. And she was like, "Dang, it was the food the whole time." And I was like, "Yeah."
Well, I think we don't put enough. First of all, the education really isn't there. I know I didn't know anything. Now, of course, I'm obsessed with gut health. I'm always talking about gut health is and your gut flora, and all that stuff. But I didn't know anything about any of that until I was like in my 40s, and I went plant-based, or I went vegetarian when I was like in my 20s or something like that, because everybody in my family was dying of colon cancer.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that's the big thing on both. So my dad had colon cancer, but is still alive. But my mom lost two of her sisters to colon cancer. And when my mom's youngest sister passed away, I think I went vegetarian the next day, but I didn't know the proper way even to do that, because back then there was all like the tofu burgers in the supermarket and stuff like that. So I really didn't learn how to align kind of my health goals and what I was trying to achieve with my body with a plant-based or whole foods, and the proper minerals and all. I didn't learn a lot of that until later in life. Yeah. And I'm an educated person. That just happened to not be a part of my education until I educated myself, and I think that's for a lot of people. I think we just don't know what we don't know. And then, of course, we are inundated by what we see on television, little kids and McDonald's commercials and all this stuff. And you don't see no commercials for apples.
That's real.
So you were saying that your wife wasn't on board, but you were. So how long did that kind of like play out?
All this happened in the same night. Like, I watched it and I came home, and like I said, she was like, "No, I don't care. I'll watch it, but nothing's gonna change me. I'm not going back. I already been there." And then she watched it and she said, "Yeah, I'm done with you."
Wow.
That one little video was enough.
I think it changed a lot of people's lives. It's so funny because when I bring up that video, I think when I finally seen it, I was already vegan, already plant-based. So it didn't have a huge effect. It was just reconfirming a lot of things that I already felt. But it's so funny how people are scared to get that information because they know once they have that information, it's going to be hard to turn back. So people avoid watching it. And I always find that interesting because when I bring up that conversation, it's like, have you ever saw that video? And it's like, yeah, that's the one that makes you stop eating meat, right? And I was like, it can. I mean, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm ready to watch something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh man,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
That's the
the
parasites.
fear.
That's
It's
the
the fear.
parasites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
The
human
parasites wanna hold on
parasites.
to it.
Yeah, and like it can be difficult because not everybody has the stomach, like no pun intended, but to be at Thanksgiving and then to receive the shame from family members, like, oh, you stopped eating meat, you wanted to, oh, you vegan now.
I used to be one of those shamers when my sister years and years ago, shout out to my sister Malika, this was years ago. I didn't have a child. I wasn't married. I think my 30-something-year-old brother was like 7 or something. She hosted Thanksgiving one year, and she was a vegetarian at the time.
Oh wow.
I said, child, don't put no tofurkey in front of me. I was like, first of all, I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to eat that, and again, we were still kind of in that processed vegan, vegetarian food mode, not even really knowing how tofu affects the body and all that other stuff. And so I do think that there's that we can all evolve from that place. I feel like if I could do it, anybody could do it. Because back then I was like, oh no, and I don't even like turkey. I have never ever in my entire life liked turkey. Ever.
You ain't never had a good turkey.
No, I have had all the good turkeys. Let me tell you, my mother has deep fried turkey and everything else, and I just don't like turkey. I just don't like it. It just doesn't taste. It's not for me. But I think that we can all kind of learn from that. And what I want to ask you is what you feel like is a good starting point for resistant people or for people who are committed. Because I feel like if you want to eat, however you want to eat, go ahead and do it. But I'm of the age where I have been dealing with the health issues of my parents. Both of my parents have had heart surgery, like literally like a month apart from each other or something. Yeah. And then my dad was told that he was pre-diabetic some years ago. So I came over to his house and cleaned out his cabinets and stuff like that. His food consisted of a freezer full of ice cream, pie crust, and cans of cling peaches.
Nice.
And I'm like, are you going to make a peach pie? Yeah. Like, what's happening here? But he was so more scared of needles, of having to check his blood every day, than he was of changing his diet. And so now he's not pre-diabetic or diabetic anymore. He lives next door to me, so it's easy to control. But what do you say about that resistance to change?
I run into it all the time, even at the store when people are coming to the store to get help. As soon as they hear that they have to change their diet or get off of the meat or starch, there is a little bit of resistance. But that's kind of the purpose of CMOS Eatery, is because I wouldn't suggest eating fried oyster mushrooms every day, because you're still using the flour and the oil. But it's a good transitional point for people to see that you can still eat things that taste good or it's a lot similar to what you're already eating and transition in that way. Yeah. It's been a lot easier for me to do it that way, even for my own family, because we don't force anything on anybody.
Yeah.
We change ourselves, and like you said, going and being around them, we have to bring our own food, and oftentimes they'll try it and they go, oh man, this is good, and from there, like you said, they're going through their own issues, and sometimes it's unspoken of, but they'll come around.
Yeah.
When they see you.
Yeah, leading by example. That's powerful. Well, we're going to take a quick mid-show break. That's been an incredible first half. We're here with Dasan, representing Natrully Wellness in Richmond, California. We got more for you in the second half. Real quick, you're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online, www.kgpc969.org. Also, follow us, like, comment, follow, subscribe. Shout out to all of our viewers tapping in live at ach.show on Instagram. That's at ach.show on Instagram. Stay tuned. We got an incredible second half lined up. And we'll see you in a few.
Woo, come on. This is what the ancestors wanted today. Come on, we vibing today. We got 3 minutes on this one. I got something by the speaker.
Just turn those off. You don't have to face them down.
You remember with that one, when it's on, when I press it, that's when it gets the feedback.
But you don't have to face them down.
But it does that boom. It makes that loud noise when I turn them off and on. You remember we were having that feedback?
Yeah.
We used to get it out of this speaker over here.
I turned that speaker off.
That's the good one.
It is.
That's the one we have
That's the
issues
one
with.
problem.
Yeah,
Turn
that's.
that one back on.
Huh?
It won't make a difference. Turn it on now.
I don't even know how to turn this one on.
It's in the back. On the right side. Right side.
This right?
Yes.
Down low. Yeah. How'd you find this? Yeah, they just be popping up on my feed, and I go look them up and see if they have any radio edits. Yeah, as long as they have a positive content message.
This one ain't edited, but it's good. This guy, I like it though. He's listening right now. Hey, Keontae, if you listening,
all right, we got
tuned, brother.
30 seconds, y'all.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
We're gonna bring it back in. All right, bring it back in.
Yeah.
All right, it's coming off.
Hey, come on, y'all.
Guys,
Oh, Keontae said he can send us the cleans. What's up, y'all? You are listening to KGPC 96.9 FM. This is the Anything Can Happen show with Cat Fitness, Questi Dreams, and Ruby Envy. We are here with Dasan, representing Natrully Wellness. Natrully Wellness, the one-stop hood spot in Richmond, California.
Ooh, the one-stop hood spot.
Yeah, all your wellness needs. So very grateful to have him in the studio. We had an incredible first half, y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest. Shout out to everybody who's listening to us live at ach.show on Instagram. Definitely stay tapped in because we got another second half, best half. We're bringing it to you live. So, Dasan, welcome back, my brother.
Thank you.
I know we talked about a lot of things in the first half. We're just gonna send everybody the clip so they can check it out. But going into the second half, right? One thing that we talked about a few minutes ago was getting the community involved, especially people who haven't been introduced to veganism or may have miseducation, things of that nature. Stereotypically, we know that Black people are seen as like very unhealthy, right? Inside and outside, just doing really toxic, dangerous practices, especially with our body, right? So how have you had so much luck and success with reaching people who really, really need this information? Like what are y'all doing specifically?
Well, we definitely invite the community in. I look at it more than just our store; it's a community store. And what I mean by that is even aside from all the things that we make in-house, most of our products are from the community. They're people that live in Richmond or live in the Bay Area that have their own products. Some of them were former employees that were able to grow their own business, starting in the store, and then now that's what they're surviving off of.
Nice.
And they're different arms of the same body. So when they're out there, they're speaking the truth and letting people know about healing their bodies and the sea moss and all the different minerals and how to stay healthy as well. So that it's a team effort. It's not just me. It's not just Janika. It's not just my wife.
So,
Beautiful.
what inspired you to help build other Black business owners like that? Because a lot of times, some people would say that you get your business or your piece of the pie, and you only focus on you. Not speaking about you specifically,
Right.
but our community.
Right.
Like, what was the inspiration about building other Black-owned businesses and having Black-owned products in the store and stuff like that?
Well, it's really just looking at the human body, and anything that works and succeeds has a whole entire team that works.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's,
Yeah.
they may have won, the Bulls won, but he may have been the best player, but
Yeah.
he didn't win by himself. And
Right.
he couldn't have won by himself.
Without Scotty
Yeah.
and Dennis.
Without your pancreas, your liver is not going to produce the bile that's needed to help your body digest. And so on and so forth. Your whole body works together. It never gives up. It works until it does. Until
Until the heart stops.
trashed it too much.
Yeah.
So if everything that works as a team, same thing. When it comes to a business, when it comes to our people coming together, each person has to individually heal themselves. I can't come in there and heal everybody by themselves, because that's not my duty. I cannot. Right. It's impossible for anybody to heal anybody else. It's an individual thing. And once enough of us heal internally, which is mind, spirit, body, and soul, then we'll look at ourselves in a different light. And then when you love yourself, then you'll be able to love your brother. When you have to love your brother, then we come together as a team, and then we grow like a tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Make it sound so simple.
Yeah. So how was the egos removed in that kind of thing? Because somebody would be like, I want to create my own store versus being in the Natrully's.
That's real.
Sure.
Well, we do invite more stores. We do want that to happen, and that's the whole purpose of coming together as a team. I don't want anybody to come there and work there forever. No, come there and be a branch from the tree. Yes, please do.
Yeah.
But no, leave the ego, because anytime I look at it, like, everything is part of the one. And
I want you to speak on this.
As soon as you separate yourself in a selfish life, then you're out of the hedge of protection of the one. So whatever you do, it should be done for the greater good of all. And anything outside of that, you're not part of the one. So you're not working for the same cause. Nature was here before us, and we have to take care of nature. And part of taking care of nature is taking care of ourselves. Because if we're toxic, then we're being toxic to nature. It's impossible to separate that. You know what I'm saying? So once each one of us understand that, you'll see things change. Now I'm seeing it change in front of me. I'm seeing it change in front of me.
And so not only is Natrully a Black-owned business, but also a family-owned and run business, right? And that's something, I believe everybody here is a business owner, entrepreneur, right? And not all of us have had the most success with our families, right? Sometimes the most resistance, the most lessons learned from talking to our families, right? So how have you been able to have that success, and who are you in business with?
Myself, my wife, and then Janika is our third partner.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And so how have you had that success working with family and just really close people in your life?
Very, very well. We all work together. Janika was already in the health and wellness business. She's a professional massage therapist, excellent, for probably almost like 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
And she was, like I said, already into it, and she was interested in herbs and learning herbs as well. My wife and I were studying, and we're just a team. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, once you heal yourself internally and become balanced, then it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter. I can really work with anybody because I mean, if you're heightened, I'm gonna balance you because I'm not gonna come off of my balance. I'm gonna stay in tune.
So why is that so important to stay in tune with who you are and where you vibrate at? Because a lot of people find themselves going into somebody else's world. You know what I'm saying? So how do you?
They're emotional.
Can you break that down for us?
Because they're emotional.
Yeah, because I mean, it's emotional people are the easiest people to control, and not saying that I'm that type of person, but it's easy to see.
Very true.
You know, somebody else's. Okay, if I say something and you react a certain way, and I threw that out there on purpose, that's an emotion. And if you ride that emotion and then ride this emotion, I already got you at that point. You see what I'm saying? Because it's balance. It's balance. Nothing should make you feel that kind of way. Things are going to happen. Yeah. But how you respond to it is what matters.
It's hard, I think, for a lot of people in our society. You know, I'm a retired social worker, right? And so there was a lot of emotion in my job, which is why I'm no longer there. But we are in a situation, a lot of us, where we're working, we have these jobs that aren't good for us. You know, they're painful. That are sometimes our managers and bosses and stuff like that are just mean. You know, and a lot of that can not just to mention whatever kind of job you're doing, right? Like for me, it was, you know, child abuse and stuff like that. And it's hard to be able to control your emotions and control how that affects your body, because you have to work, you know, in this society, and we're trained to get a job and stay at that job until 65, and you know, these are kind of the things that we're trained to do. And when I saw people at my job dropping dead at work, I was like, I need to get out of here come heck or high water, or else I'm going to be the same way. But there is so much fear in changing the way we live. There's fear to change the way that we live because we are trained and programmed to live a certain way and be worker bees.
Yeah, we're trained not to work in our purpose.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
that's why
a word. Yes.
Yeah, and people are spiteful.
And then looking at work too, though, it's like, depends on how you look at it too. Like if you're going to go work for somebody, that's why I say everything is about your goal. So if I'm gonna go get a job somewhere, then I'm gonna go there with the intent of learning the whole aspects of how this company is working, right? So that my time is not wasted, meaning that I'm not gonna go just get a job working anywhere that I don't care anything about this. Now, this person might,
but a lot of people do just for a paycheck.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, even then though, if I'm still gonna try to learn the aspects of this situation, I'm gonna make my time well worth it, because at the end of the day, I'm always supposed to be striving to be the best me, right?
Yeah.
So I can't let this one person who's irritating or causing, you know, he's irritated, he's elevated, he's agitated. I don't have to allow that to enter my energy force field.
We don't have to
stay focused on my goal. You know,
and that is a skill.
Well, it's a skill, but it's also acid alkaline balance in the body as well. When you're overly acidic, then you respond that way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's something.
So
that's something.
You're eating,
I never thought of that.
Okay.
If your body's overly acidic, then you have acidic responses. I noticed that even with myself, because before I was not as much of a balanced person, and people were able to tick me off with certain things, and then I find myself into this argumentative state that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
You know, that's funny, because I found myself when I was younger and I was, you know, putting a lot of more alcohol and acidic meat and stuff into my body. Yeah, I was a hothead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, short fuse, let anybody bump into me, do whatever. It was a problem. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize how much of the nutrition plays into the emotions
All
and how your
balance.
body reacts to that.
The hormones in the food and all
Hormones, all different types of stuff, the
Yeah.
energy that you absorb from those animals and
Yeah.
all
Fear.
different things.
Yeah. Well, and we
You're
don't.
absorbing energy.
Yes.
Everything
Yeah.
you're doing,
Wow.
everything is energy.
And
Even
we
the
don't
money is
think
energy.
we don't think about that. We're not trained like that, and we also don't think necessarily and are not taught necessarily about the mind body spirit connection and how it's all together. Because I remember when I started doing like I'm a yoga teacher now, but I started doing yoga and meditation because when I was in a unit at my job that was all about child abuse, and I was a child abuse investigator, my hair started falling out, right? And the stress was so bad that I had a big giant bald spot on the top of my head. And I had a little comb over with a bobby pin and stuff like that. And like sometimes the wind would blow and it would blow up over my head. It was just a hot mess, right? And so I knew that I had to make a huge change because this face is not built for baldness, okay? And so
You could have wore those big hoop earrings though and shaved your hair.
am I supposed to put the hoop earring on my top of my head, Kat? I mean, there's only so much a hoop will do for you, okay?
I'm just saying.
But I had to change so much because the stress could have killed me. Stress is a killer. And so it was about mindfulness for me and learning how to center myself and do the things that I needed to do for myself so that but also at that same time food was a factor.
Absolutely.
You know, I never thought of it the way you just put it, Dasan, about the whole alkalinity and you being more argumentative and stuff like that. I didn't really think of that. I know that for me, food, I feel horrible when I eat certain foods. You know, my mom came to take care of me one time when I had surgery, and my husband and child went skiing. So my mom was staying there, and everything was like meat based and fried in bacon fat. And after like 2 days, I felt suicidal. I said, Mom, I said, you have to give me some food that is not cooked in bacon fat. You just have to. I was like, it can't all be just like, oxtails and hoe cakes. I mean, I can't do it.
I had a young woman come in just the other day, and she asked me about like mental issues, and she said her brother had ADHD, ADD, he had epilepsy, and autism.
All the things.
And she asked me, well, do you think that there's anything that could be done about that? I said, absolutely there is. And then I said, well, what does he eat? And then she started breaking down all the different things he eat: meat, cheese, all the normal things that we normally eat. And I said, I had her look up different things, just regular Google, just so she can see the association with the whole entire body, the gut, and the mind, because we got 3 different brains, right? So I said, we went down each condition. I said, put in autism and the central nervous system. Put in epilepsy, central nervous system. Put in ADHD, ADD, central nervous system. All of them are central nervous system issues, right? And then I said, put in central nervous system and your intestines. And then you see that there's neurotransmitters, brain, transmission of energy, of electricity, of messages, right? That go from your esophagus all the way down to your anus. So when we're eating trash that gets clogged up everywhere, especially right here in our gut, in our intestines, it affects your thoughts here. It does. When you get scared, you can feel it here. Right?
Yes, you feel it in your gut.
And
that's
you
a
can
phrase
also,
that we
your
use.
heart beats faster, right?
Yes.
And you notice all this here.
Yep.
The problem is here.
Yep.
Got Alzheimer's, got
the
all
gut.
here.
The gut,
Oh,
everybody.
okay.
All your
I've been
your
talking
nerve
about it for
endings are
years.
here. Most of them.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got a few minutes left, believe it or not.
No.
I got 2 hot button topics that I'm going to touch on just really quick, right? So the first one is fasting, right? What's your take on fasting, and how do you fast? How do you go about it? Just give us some game.
Well, there's a lot of different types of fast. But fasting is definitely important to body. Your body does it naturally anyway when you go to sleep. And when you wake up, you're breaking that fast. But it's important because that's when the body regenerates and it's able to repair itself because it's not doing any extra work. It's not digesting. It's not processing. It's not filtering. It's able to get into that reparative mode.
Right.
And
So
if you're able to do that during the daytime, then that's more repair work.
So is there like a structure that you recommend? Like I know there are 8-hour fast, 12-hour fast, week fast. Like is there something you recommend?
It kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
You know, but intermittent fasting is good, like, you know, throughout the day. But really following the body's natural clock, the circadian rhythm, which is aligned with nature, would be optimal in general. And what I mean by that is between like 12 and 4 when the sun is up and all the plants and everything else is eating. That's when your heaviest meal should be eaten during that time.
And so during the day, like daylight hours. So
what do you think about water fasting?
Water fasting?
Yeah. I've been reading about it lately, and I don't know anything.
Well, there's benefit to that. Yeah, for sure. You definitely, your body gonna get the cleansing. But I would say maybe probably do a fruit fast instead.
Get that natural water.
Yeah,
that's right.
Filtered water through the fruits.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah. And I would say that where a person's at in their journey, have they like that's an intense kind of fast.
Yes, it
in my
is.
opinion. I wouldn't say
That's a little advanced.
Yeah,
it's a little
say,
advanced.
working your way there.
People need to do though, because like one thing I noticed that even when you like just switch over your diet, sometimes people still have issues, and they're like, "Man, I'm eating right. What's going on?"
Yeah,
but they have absorption issues because there's still all that trash and calcified waste in the way. So sometimes you just got to do a cleanse.
Oh yes.
First.
I was going to ask you what you feel about cleansing.
Yeah, you gotta flush out, and then just think about it. We have a car, right, and it has filters that need to be changed when we go get an oil change and things of that nature. And then same with your body. Your body needs to be cleaned out too every so often.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Change your filter. You gotta clean out your kidneys.
All right. So one more question before we drop the socials and business hours and all those things. So what's your take on vaccines?
On vaccines? Well, your body creates vaccines.
Oh, you got to expand, my brother. Give us 30
You want me to
seconds.
tell you? Okay. Well, say you caught COVID, right? And then you recover from it. Your body is going to create a vaccine against that particular strain.
Yeah, your body's gonna learn how to fight off all the bacteria.
Except for those that die.
Yeah, but those are people in extreme cases, and they're already sick.
If your
I should have asked this earlier.
If your lymphatic system works, your kidneys and your colon, then you can heal yourself. Really?
That's a big if, though, because we have a lot of people who that is not the case, and then they die.
Yeah, most people are dropping.
Yeah.
Okay, that's real.
That's going to be episode 2.
Yeah, that's
right.
episode 2.
I am a firm believer in the vaccine because I don't want my people to die.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's
my people
real.
that don't eat right and are not in a line, their body is not. I still want you to live.
Do just don't make sense. Like even when it comes to the mask, like your body's trying to exhale those toxins, and then we're just breathing right back in.
Oh man, mandates.
That's
a government mandate.
Well,
it's just kind of scrambling.
Yeah,
It's getting better.
We need our own system.
Yeah, we get the system of naturally wellness. Speaking of which, business hours. So, what's the location? How long y'all in business?
Because I know you guys be having events up there.
Well, yeah, every weekend throughout the summer, we got vendors that pop up with their food, with their alkaline food. But we're at 4113 McDonald Avenue, Richmond, California. And then we also have our Alkaline Water Store at 1019 McDonald Avenue. And the CMOS Eatery is come to 4113, but it's really 4115 McDonald Avenue, but it's right next to
next door. Yeah, and y'all serve food too, right?
We serve food, and on the first we'll be offering it through Grubhub. And,
what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, y'all expanded.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
What are the hours for the eatery different than the herb shop? Yeah.
Usually, yes.
Okay.
The herb shop stays open pretty late
on
certain days, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. We're open 10 to 10.
Ooh,
Monday
Wow.
10 to 6.
Mhm.
Sunday and Thursday 10 to 8.
Y'all serious?
Yeah, we open every single day. And then the food,
Mhm.
we close at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Wow.
Every day?
every day.
Okay, because I haven't been around to the food yet. I've only been in the front.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no,
Y'all got
I'm looking
smoothies too,
forward
right?
to
We
it.
do have smoothies.
Oh,
We
my
have smoothies
goodness.
at the water.
Because I've been looking at the food on Instagram, and I'm just like, I need to get over there. Because I'm always
Yeah.
cooking myself, but sometimes
Hey,
I don't want to.
I had them oysters.
Just the mushrooms.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, the oyster
Yeah.
mushrooms.
See, I make
Fire
that myself
situation.
all the time, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's time consuming. I want somebody else
That's
to
why
make
you
it.
go over there
All right,
and
exactly.
get a plate from there.
Yeah.
We're
And I,
teaming up with Two Juice too, and then we're gonna open up a juice bar at the water store as well.
wow.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
bring the people out. We officially broke a record today on social media for consecutive live viewers.
All right.
So
Yay.
Natrully Wellness bringing the people out.
There
But
you go.
drop your social real quick, then we got to get out of here.
We are naturallyherbs.com. You can find us on Instagram at Natrully Herbs, NATRULLY. And yes, show up, pull up, 4113 McDonald Avenue. We also teaching the kids, the children, every other Saturday at 1019 McDonald Avenue, so they can learn about health and wellness and learn the whole human body. So we could change this whole perspective.
Each one teach one.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Goodness, we need a branch and open for real coming soon. But that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been another incredible episode of the Anything Can Happen show. Cat Fitness, Quessy Dreams, Ruby, Envy. We are here every single Thursday live on Instagram. Like, comment, follow, subscribe at ach.show on Instagram. Stay tuned. We got a lot more on the way. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Peace.
Peace.
Okay.
Fire.
Good job.
Yes. That's
Man.
fantastic.
Man, okay.
I need to know more about that Saturday. I have a kid.
Yeah.
Drop him off on Saturday, learn something.
And last Saturday, we made some calendula and butterfly pea oil.
Oh, she takes the calendula out of my yard. I
Oh,
grow
yeah?
it.
You grow it?
And,
Oh, that's good.
and she
Good.
makes some sort of
If you're scared,
tincture or something.
if you're scared of the digestion too.
Yeah. I'm always like, just whatever you can make, just bring me a bottle and tell me what to do.
Man,
Put on up.
we got some.
So we got a drop.
Do the
and then
drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a
Do the
drop.
real quick.
Oh, let me get out of here because my dad keeps calling me.
He heard you talking about it.
So a drop is just like, hey, this is the sound from the Trullies. You're listening to the Anything Can Happen show, and today we're talking about, what was that drop that you gave us earlier?
What else? Say, creating unity through health and wellness.
Boom.
So,
Yeah.
so this is the song from Naturally Herbs. And was the Anything on the Anything Can Happen show?
Yeah.
Okay.
You tuned into the Anything Can Happen show, and today we're talking about,
Creating unity.
Yeah. once Felicia gives us the thumbs up that we could do the drop. Do a Instagram video tagging it.
Ready when you are.
All right. Mic is hot.
It's the Sun from Naturally Herbs on the Anything Can Happen show, talking about creating unity through wellness.
Again, that wasn't recording.
Yeah.
But good job.
she'll give us a count there.
And that was good. Just at the end, what is it? Stay tuned or wait?
Tune in.
Tune in.
Or
Because
stay
it's
tuned,
we
whatever.
played it paid before the show, just as like a little drive, little promo. So just end it. That was good. Just end it like tune in.
Okay.
She gonna give us a countdown.
It's the Sun on the Anything Can Happen show from Naturally Herbs and More. We talking about creating unity through health and wellness. Tune in.
No. We got it.
Was that
So,
Felicia the one? She
All right.
that was good. Okay, she said it was good. Yeah.
Are we going outside?
go for it. You gonna take our picture?
Yeah, I think Ken's on the phone. We can get her. We get her off the man. Yeah, we just take a picture real quick. Man, how do y'all do advertising Like, y'all doing advertising marketing for this show?
No, it's just us
Word of
really
mouth?
gonna, yeah.
Wow. Have y'all thought about advertising, like on the radio, on TV?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
billboards?
we need to do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I know that's something that we've been talking to. Have you talked to Thru yet, or we putting a hold on it?
No, we're working. Yeah,
Okay.
getting our advertisements.
Okay, but not. I want to mention the design.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So basically, we're looking to promote people on the show, especially like people, brand vendors that we believe in, like Natrully Wellness.
Mhm.
Y'all have a marketing budget?
We have a creative one, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's definitely talk about it. So we're pulling it together on the RN too, but y'all are somebody. We're talking to y'all, Malibu's Burgers, and a few other people in the area that we love what y'all do.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Beginning, if you want to be like a monthly sponsor for the show, and then we'll be dropping you guys' name every episode when we come on.
Like your events.
Yeah, and then you'll get drops on all our social media platforms if you want to be a monthly sponsor. If you just want to have like a single drop for an episode, something like that, we're gonna have different
tiers.
Different tiers.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So I can get you some more of that information, send it over.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, man, because the people that tune into our show,
Mhm.
that's what they tune in for.
Yeah,
Our
anybody
health
have
and
the
wellness.
show.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm with
saying?
that. I'm with that.
Yeah, man. We want to continue to build the businesses in our community
Mhm.
and getting those dollars circulating.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I remember at one point you had the ice cream truck. We didn't talk about that other day.
Mhm.
But I remember that was like the next step. You was gonna have the truck and stuff
I
like
still
that.
got the food truck.
Yeah, I seen it out front, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it instead of food though. I'm gonna do just do herbs.
Okay.